Hey everybody, welcome to GGS Railways. My name is Greg. This is my YouTube channel. Alright, so what are we doing tonight? So we're going to be taking a look at some of the thrift store lot items that we have that have been cleaned up and kind of looking nice for us, and some of the repairs that we did. But before we get started on that, there's something I need to kind of backtrack and do. So yesterday we put out a video about going to a train show and some of the things that we found there and some of the things that we got, and I forgot something. So alright, so that's kind of a clue that maybe we bought too many things if you forget something that you bought. So alright, this is a Williams Golden Memory Series boxcar, and it's quite nice. It's got the kids smiling in the train, and that kind of evokes some memories. I like it quite a bit. So I actually did not pick out this boxcar. I mean, I like it quite a lot, but Sergio went with us to the Seabrook show, and if you went there, you probably met him, and he was not at all into model trains until that show. And anyway, he really got into it. He says he doesn't want to miss another one. So all right, yeah, we've converted another one. So anyway, he picked out this car. He thought it was very nice. He thought it was evoked some emotion, and I would agree with him. It is very nice. So all right, that is one of the things that we got, and we will show it running later on in this video. So all right, let's move on. All right guys, so before we get started real good, I need to do a little bit of explanation as to what you're about to see and why you're going to see it the way that you're going to see it. So all right, I've already shot this segment twice. Maybe the third time's a charm, I don't know. The first time I had an issue with my microphones not working well, and the second time, well, I don't know. It may be time for some different equipment. But anyway, so the reason that I say that is because I can't unglue some of the building and some of the repairs that we've done. And so yeah, I'm going to do this in a way where we're going to talk about it. And I'll superimpose some of the video. The video itself did turn out just fine. So, so if you see stuff and, you'll notice that this isn't in pieces and later it is, that's why. So, all right, it's not the best way to do it, but it is an option, and it's the only way we're going to be able to do this. All right, let's get started with actually what we have here. So all right, this is the Marks 1095 set, and we got the A unit, the B unit, and the other A unit. And if you saw these when we got them, they were quite dirty, they were filthy. I'm actually shocked and amazed that these came as clean as they did. They are quite nice. I won't say that they're flawless, but man, I'm just here to tell you they turned out really nice. So we're going to see these running around the track later on. We did repair the issue we had where the motor didn't want to stay in, and it stays securely in now. So yep, these guys have little horns that go on the top. We have those ordered, but they have not come yet. So all right, so what next? What else we got here? So you may have seen the video where we unboxed all this stuff, and you may have seen the rolling stock. Now you may not recognize the rolling stock because man, this stuff cleaned up really well. So I think I am used that the lettering on this one is really crisp and sharp, and it would probably withstand a cleaning. And sure enough, it cleaned up really nice. This is sharp. That looks really nice. So all right, the sometimes white doesn't want to come clean, but that one did come clean. So all right, so this next thing is a tinplate car, and this is the same car that we unboxed, and it was kind of bent, mangled, and part on the edges. And I, said that possibly we could rework it a little bit, and probably most people would never know the difference. What do you think? How do we do? So all right, one of the amazing things on this guy is that the tinplate had a lot of surface rust, and most of that came off. It came pretty clean. I'm totally impressed with this. So, all right. The next thing was this depressed car. I call it depressed because it's got the indentation here. And what we have found through a little bit of research is this is a spool car, like a wire spool. And you may have seen this in some of the Lionel iterations where they have the spool and it goes in here, and these little retainers would actually go in the middle of the spool to keep them from rolling. So all right, we have yet to find the spools that go on here, but we'll continue to look. Maybe they're not real plentiful, I don't know. So all right, and then we had this Searchlight car, and if you'll recall, this guy, he was quite filthy as well. We got really lucky. Whatever was on these train cars and the locomotives and so forth, It came off pretty easily. I mean, it looked really, really bad. It was kind of sooty or whatever, but it doesn't seem to have damaged anything, you know, finish-wise. So that's something you don't have happen a whole lot. Most of the time, if there's something on it, it damages it in some way. So, all right. Rolling stock-wise, this is the last thing. So this is a Marks crane. You may not even recognize this because it's together. This guy came out of the box and he was missing this part of the crane and this and some other things. And anyway, we found all that in the bottom of one of those crates, put it all back together, and it seems to be, you know, I mean, it's not great, but it's none the worse for wear. So all right, so one of the things that we did notice though was that as we turned it over, that one of the sets of wheels was missing. And so we hopped on eBay, we found some wheels, not for a lot of money, and we got it replaced. Now what you might notice is that these wheels are green. Somebody has painted the wheels. And what that means to me, or what it says to me, is that this was a display model. And the reason I say that is because if this had gone around the track at all, this green paint would not last on these wheels long at all. So all right, so other than we have three green wheels and one silver one, you know, it's good to go. And once again, we'll show all this stuff running here in a minute, and I think you guys will be pretty impressed. All right, so last but not least, so we had these Plasticville hauls, and I had not seen a Plasticville haul before. Actually, I won't say that I lied, but I have the K-line version in there, and it's very similar to this, but it's a little bit more ornate. So I kind of had it, but I really didn't. Not actually in the Plasticville. So all right, so you may recall that this guy was busted up. It had some broken walls and some missing windows, and so we bought a parts one. And when I pulled it out of the box, everybody kind of commented the same thing. You know, it looks like it's too good for parts. It's too complete, and I'm inclined to agree with you. And so it's missing the front door and the back door, and well, we stole most of the back windows. But anyway, it did have the tower and, you know, this part. But I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to probably look for more parts, and we'll make this one complete again at some point. That's kind of one of the things that happens in the model train world, is sometimes you'll buy things for parts and then you fix the parts. That's just something that happens. All right, so that's where we are. That's what has happened. So all right, let's go in there and let's put some of the stuff on the track, and I think you guys will be amazed. Frankly, I mean, every time I see this Marks 1095, it just makes my heart feel good, because basically we kind of saved that from a dumpster. I really do think that, because really and truly, I don't think anybody would have ever imagined it cleaning up quite as well as it did. All right, let's get it in there. All right, guys, if you were here for the last video, then this will look very familiar to you. We have 18 tank cars here, plus the 3 other cars that we got yesterday at the train show. And yeah, so we showed all these yesterday except for the Williams car, the one with the smiling boy and the train on it. And yeah, so let's show that running, and then we'll get down on the floor and show you guys the other view that I know that you guys like. Now, we do have one logistical problem, and I had planned on running this Marks, the new diesel ABA from the thrift store lot, on this inside track, but our bridges are not high enough to accommodate our crane. So we're going to have to, once we run this tank cars and the new box car that we're fixing to show you, we'll have to take all that off the track and probably put the Marks on that track, which is a lot of work, but you know what? We're worth it, right? So let's do this. Let's get this going. Let's see what it goes. Let's see. We'll run this around the track maybe a couple times, and then we'll drop it down. So the new box car has a blue roof. So yeah, so you can identify it from this view. Very cool. So if you missed the video yesterday, which, you know, I can't imagine anybody would do that, but the locomotives that are pulling this train are by K-line, and the A unit, the B unit, and the other A unit are all powered, so it's 3 units pulling this train, so it is pulling it quite effortlessly. So very, very cool. All right, so that's about it, I think, for this view. Let's get it down to the ground. We're just trying to show off the boxcar. We showed all these once again last night, and so yeah, very, very cool. All right, let's get down to it. Alright guys, so we have the Marks 1095 ABA unit here on the track, and it is looking mighty sharp. So alright, so we have the white box car that we cleaned, and it turned out quite nicely, and the spotlight car, and then the depressed car that would have had the wire spool that we haven't found just yet, and our crane, and let's see, the template car that came with that lot that was all bent up, messed up, and I think you'll see here in a minute that it turned out quite nicely. And at the end we have a caboose that did not come with any of this, but you know, I feel like trains ought to have a caboose. I know that, yeah. Anyway, all right, so let's get to running this. Let's see what happens, and when we'll get down to the ground and we will see what we see. I think you guys will agree that this right here was worth the entire thrift store lot. Let's go. That is just super sharp. So you may recall that when we got the powered unit, that the motor had come loose from the shell, and we were able to fashion that back in a way that I don't think it's going to come loose again. I think what they had was some rubber grommets that simply it snapped in there, and yeah, we just worked around that, and it's held in there really nicely now, and I don't think we're going to have a problem with it again. Alright guys, let's get this dropped down to the ground, and let's see what we see. I think you guys will be quite pleased, and let's do it. Alright guys, so how about that? Marks 1095. After a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of repair, it runs just perfectly. Pretty freaking awesome. So alright guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I have certainly enjoyed making it for you guys, and I hope you guys will come again and see when we do more shenanigans. We're always doing shenanigans. Alright guys, I think this is probably enough for one night. Enough shenanigans for one night for sure. I appreciate you guys watching. GGS Railways out.